Hi, word bosses, and welcome to the Penpoint Your Perspective podcast, where our mission is to enlighten you with tips and pertinent information to perfect your writing craft. We'll talk about all things writing and speak with writers of all genres and backgrounds. I'm Erica Parker, author of Penpoint Your Perspective, Writer's Instructional Handbook. I'm also a writing coach, ghostwriter, and editor at Lyrical Innovations, LLC. Let's get into it.
Word bosses, turn my mommy up in your headphones.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited to come to you guys with another episode of Penpoint Your Perspective podcast. This will be a solo episode where we're going to be focusing on developing your skills in a very special way. This podcast, though, is in partnership with the Divas That Care network. So I do want to let you guys know this is a wonderful network that unites women across the world, women that are like-minded, that are positive, and that are doing great things in their community as well as in their businesses. So please be sure to check out the website divasthatcare.com. I am very proud to be a host on this network, and let me know what you think. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at erica@divasthatcare.com. Now, this episode is actually one that when I was doing the research, it was actually very beneficial for me because I get stuck sometimes as a writer in terms of making sure that I'm creating an environment that's going to be productive for me, one that is going to allow me to have the output that I expect and that I need to have as I set my goals for writing. So this is all about creating a writing mindset as well as creating a productive writing space. So just think about it when you're sitting down to write. What has brought you to the point where you're now sitting down to write and work on your project? Is it because you are in a state of mind where you're like, this is a great day, I don't have a lot going on today, I'm just going to take some time and carve time out in order to get some things done? If that's the mentality that you're entering into this with, that's great. But sometimes if you're a professional writer, you do it full time and you get paid to do it, you might feel a little more stressed when you're going into your writing environment. Like, oh my gosh, this deadline is coming up. I told this magazine I was going to have this article done, or I have to have this project done for my business, or I just, set this personal goal and now I'm behind the ball. You want to make sure and be very cognizant of the energy that you're bringing into your writing time and your writing space. So that's why I felt it was critical to come up with this episode to focus on your mindset and making sure that you're in the right place when you sit down to write. So some of the things that you're doing to prepare your mindset as well as your space to be positive and productive, some of that takes place before you actually begin writing, and some of it is during your writing process. So let's talk a little bit about the steps that you can take before you actually start writing. For me, I like to set the scene just like I would set the scene for an evening of self-care or an evening of romance. You want to make sure that as much time and thought and effort that you put into it for that particular occasion, you're doing the same thing for creating your writing environment for your project. So whether it's, clearing out any clutter that might be in that area, making sure that you light a candle or set some great music that's going to relax you and put you in a relaxed state of mind, whether it's telling people, hey, I'm not going to be available for the next however many minutes, an hour or 30 minutes. Please don't knock on the door, putting your phone on airplane mode and allowing others to know to respect your privacy and respect your space and your need for space. Getting your pen and paper out, getting that ready, making sure that that's there, because you don't want to sit down and, I got to get back up and I have to get this. Oh no, I forgot to use the restroom. I don't have my water. That is, your mind is going to actually be looking for reasons not to do what you're doing. And it doesn't mean that you don't love to do it. It's just that your mind has to be in a state where your brain waves are calmer. So in order to do that, you do as much as you can to prepare beforehand. You have everything in front of you, maybe a picture, maybe a painting, maybe something that reminds you of what you're doing and why you're doing it. I love to have visual aids. I love paintings, I love pictures and things like that. So I might have a picture that really relaxes me, maybe of a vacation or something like that, and have music. I love peaceful piano music, classical music that really trigger those brain waves and get you stimulated and ready to go. So taking the time to have all of those things is really important. Then you want to make sure that as you're doing those things and you're preparing, you're able to kind of do a little bit of meditation. I don't know if you are into meditation, but there's ways to clear your mind without using meditation if you don't practice that. But just taking some deep breaths, closing your eyes, taking some deep breaths in and out, and focusing on what you're here to do. I like to use self-affirmations. I can do this. I'm going to do this. This is going to be a great session. My outcome is going to be this. I am going to kill it. I am going to do what I came here to do. Doing those types of self-affirmation chants right before you get started is critical because that sets you in that mindset of positivity. And it also allows you to be able to focus on what you're here to do, not to check those notifications on Facebook, not to check that text that comes through. That's why I suggest airplane mode, if even just for an hour. I also suggest not using a laptop. If you can grab a pen and a pad and write down your thoughts using those tools, I know for me, I do get very easily distracted when I am on my laptop, as an email alert might come through or something comes through that I feel needs my attention. But just remember, you're setting this time for yourself to get your project done. So at this time, this is the priority, not a Facebook post, not an email from a client, none of that. It is just solely focused on getting your work done. So thinking about those things and reminding yourself and taking that time is critical. The other thing that I like to do is I like to make sure that my physical working space is comfortable. I like to be in sweats or leggings or something that is comfortable and not restricting, nothing tight, nothing that's uncomfortable, itchy, or anything like that. So make sure that your attire, if you are able to, if you're at home or if you're at Panera Bread or library or wherever, make sure that you're dressing in something that is comfortable so that you're able to focus on not what you're wearing, not how uncomfortable you are, but on your project. So I love wearing something that is comfortable for me. The other thing is, like I mentioned, clearing the clutter from your space, making sure that there's nothing like a big stack of bills that are going to make you stress out. Oh my gosh, I didn't pay this bill, or anything that's going to make you start thinking about something else. A nice, clean working space is great because then you're able to really focus on what you came there to do. In addition to that, you want to make sure that when you're writing, you're not in a mood. You're not angry. You're not irritated or agitated. You haven't just hung up the phone with someone that maybe is not your favorite person. Someone, maybe have a positive conversation before, or maybe watch or listen to a podcast that inspires you, or listen to some music that gets you in a good mood right beforehand, so that you're in the right state of mind as you enter it, making sure that you have what you need mentally to get where you need to go. The other thing is background noise. If you are sitting down to write in a noisy cafe, make sure that you have your earbuds so you can plug in and have that opportunity to focus in on the music or the sound, whether it's white noise or classical music, whatever sound it is that helps you focus. Make sure that's what you're listening to instead of the conversations of other people or dishes clattering in the background. The other thing is prepare beforehand. Make sure that you know what you're writing about. If you don't want to write about anything, you just want to free write, make sure that you have the ability to free write and that you have that information in front of you. Okay, I want to free write, so I'm going to set my timer for this time. Or I really need to wrap up this article, so I'm going to have my article pulled up and I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to make sure that I write a conclusion for the article, or I just work a little bit more on that. I want to look at my website content and I want to read it with a fresh perspective and rewrite it. So have your website already pulled up, everything that you're working on pulled up, so you're not using and wasting that time searching for it. hit the timer, whatever time you have allotted for yourself, hit that timer after you're set up and after you're ready to go. Not, okay, I'm hitting a timer, okay, now I got to pull this up. No, already have it up so you can focus, because when you have the tasks that you need to do and you're focusing on that, you're not giving yourself that time that you need. Everything needs to be done and ready to go so that when you hit the timer, whatever time that is, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, you're ready to kind of fire off and do what you need to do. The other thing I suggest is to make sure that when you're sitting down and you're getting ready to go, that you realize that this is your time. Don't focus on anything other than what you're doing. So for me, I know I'm guilty of this. I'm like, when I get into my brain waves into that relaxed state, sometimes thoughts kind of interfere, like where I'm like, oh my gosh, did I blah, blah, blah. Please just try to redirect your thoughts. If you don't know how to redirect your thoughts, practice it. If you are, meditating, if you're in a quiet place and something comes up, train yourself to say, no, right now I'm focusing on this. Right now, this is the priority, and redirect in any way that you can so that you are getting the most out of that session. I have found that if I do have a lot of things going on that are uncontrollable and I can't take care of it or address it before my writing session, I journal about it for just 2 or 3 minutes. Like, okay, before I sit down to do my session, I'm going to journal about the things that are worrying me. So now it's on my paper, it's in my journal, it will get dealt with when I'm done. And then that way you've already kind of addressed it in your mind. Your mind is not going to go back to it. Your mind is now going to be focused on what you need to do. So hopefully these tips are helpful to you. If you have any other tips that you'd like to share with me, please visit Penpoint Podcast on Instagram, or, contact me personally, Erica at lyricalinnovationsllc.com. And let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation about what your tips are, what questions or problems or issues that you come across that are helping or hindering you from moving forward in your writing process. Remember, I'm a writing coach, and there's probably nothing I have not heard before. So more than likely, I will have a way to try to assist you with working through whatever issues you have with your writing. In the meantime, I want you to be a boss. I want you to own your project. Don't let it own you. Continue to write. Continue to inspire others through your leadership as a writer. And tune in for the next episode. It's going to be a great one. Promise. Take care, guys.